Joe Ranga's journey is not defined by sudden victories or overnight success. It is defined by steps, small, steady, and fearless steps taken even when the road was uncertain. Every step carried weight, every step demanded courage, and every step built strength. Strength is not always loud. Sometimes, it is silent perseverance. When challenges tried to slow Joe Ranga down, he didn't stop, he adapted. When doubt appeared, he didn't retreat, he advanced with purpose. This is the power of strength in every step, the refusal to quit even when progress feels slow. Each setback became a lesson, each failure a foundation. Joe Ranga understood that growth doesn't happen in comfort, it happens in movement. By choosing discipline over excuses and purpose over fear, he turned ordinary moments into extraordinary progress. This journey reminds us that strength isn't about how fast you move, but how consistently you keep moving forward. No matter the struggle, no matter the storm, Joe Ranga proves that every step, no matter how small, can shape a powerful destiny. Strength is not something that suddenly appears when everything is perfect. It begins at the exact moment when uncertainty is highest and confidence feels weakest. The first step is always the hardest because it requires moving forward without guarantees. It demands courage before results, belief before evidence, and action before applause. Joe Ranga's strength was not born from knowing the outcome, but from daring to begin despite not knowing what lay ahead. The first step often comes with fear, fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of being alone. Yet true strength is revealed when fear is acknowledged but not obeyed. Joe Ranga understood that waiting for the right time only delays growth. Strength starts when excuses end and action begins, even if that action feels small or imperfect. Taking the first step means choosing progress over comfort. Comfort keeps people still, but movement creates power. Joe Ranga did not wait to feel strong before stepping forward. Strength was created because he stepped forward. Each early step carried doubt, resistance, and pressure, but it also carried determination. The first step also sets direction. Once movement begins, momentum follows. Even a slow step breaks stagnation. Joe Ranga's journey shows that strength is not measured by how confident you feel at the start, but by your willingness to move while confidence is still forming. That initial decision to act becomes the foundation on which all future strength is built. In every struggle, in every uncertain moment, the first step is a declaration: I refuse to remain where I am. That decision alone begins the transformation. Real power is not created in moments of intensity but in habits repeated every day. Consistency is the quiet force that turns effort into strength and intention into results. Joe Ranga's journey reflects the truth that showing up daily, especially on days when motivation is low, is what separates temporary effort from lasting power. Consistency means choosing discipline over comfort. It is easy to work hard when energy is high and praise is visible, but true strength is revealed when progress feels slow and recognition is absent. Joe Ranga understood that even small actions, when repeated without interruption, compound into unstoppable momentum. A single step may feel insignificant, but thousands of steady steps create an unbreakable path forward. There are days when results are invisible, when effort seems wasted, and when doubt whispers that nothing is changing. Consistency demands faith during those moments. Joe Ranga did not measure success by immediate outcomes but by commitment to the process. He trusted that persistence would eventually transform struggle into strength. Consistency also builds mental endurance. Each time you act despite fatigue or doubt, you strengthen discipline. Over time, effort becomes identity. Joe Ranga's power did not come from rare bursts of motivation but from unwavering commitment to progress, regardless of circumstances. Through repetition, resilience is formed. Consistency removes fear, sharpens focus, and creates confidence rooted in action rather than emotion. It proves that real strength is not about how hard you push once, but how faithfully you continue moving forward day after day. Challenges are not interruptions to the journey, they are built into it. Every meaningful path carries resistance, and every step forward invites a test of resolve. Joe Ranga's strength grew not in the absence of difficulty, but in direct response to it. Challenges appeared as pressure, uncertainty, and moments where quitting felt easier than continuing. When obstacles arise, they expose character. Easy roads require little strength, but difficult paths demand growth. Joe Ranga recognized that challenges are not signs of failure, they are signals of progress. Each struggle forced adaptation, sharper thinking, and deeper resilience. Instead of asking why difficulties appeared, he focused on how to move through them. Challenges also strip away illusion. They reveal weaknesses that must be strengthened and habits that must be changed. Joe Ranga did not avoid these moments, he learned within them. Pressure refined discipline, setbacks improved patience, and resistance built endurance. Every challenge carried a lesson meant to prepare him for the next level of responsibility. There are moments when challenges slow momentum and test belief. Progress may feel delayed and confidence may feel shaken. Yet these moments are where inner strength is forged. Joe Ranga's journey proves that strength is not built during ease, but during resistance. Each challenge faced and survived adds another layer of capability. Challenges demand choice, retreat or rise. By choosing persistence, Joe Ranga turned obstacles into stepping stones. The path was not smooth, but it was meaningful, and every challenge became proof that strength grows where comfort ends. True strength does not always announce itself. It does not demand attention, validation, or applause. Often, the most powerful growth happens quietly, away from recognition. Joe Ranga's journey reflects a deep understanding that silence, when paired with purpose, can be stronger than the loudest declarations. Noise seeks approval, silence seeks progress. While others speak about their intentions, real strength is built through unseen effort. Joe Ranga focused on work rather than words, allowing results to speak when the time was right. This quiet discipline protected his focus from distraction and preserved energy for what truly mattered. Silence also builds emotional control. In moments of criticism, doubt, or misunderstanding, reacting loudly can weaken purpose. Joe Ranga chose restraint over reaction, understanding that strength is not proven by arguing but by continuing forward. By remaining silent, he conserved mental clarity and avoided unnecessary conflict. Working in silence requires confidence. It means trusting your path without needing constant validation. Joe Ranga's strength was rooted in inner belief, not external praise. This quiet confidence allowed him to endure delays, setbacks, and pressure without losing direction. Silence sharpens awareness. Without the distraction of noise, focus deepens, intentions become clearer, and discipline strengthens. Joe Ranga's journey shows that silence is not absence, it is preparation. In that quiet space, strength grows steadily, waiting for the right moment to reveal itself through action. Failure often carries a heavy stigma, but in reality, it is one of the most powerful tools for growth. Joe Ranga did not view failure as a final verdict, but as feedback, clear, honest, and necessary. Each failure revealed what needed improvement, what required patience, and what demanded a stronger mindset. Failure exposes gaps that success hides. When things go wrong, weaknesses surface, strategies are questioned, and assumptions are challenged. Instead of avoiding these moments, Joe Ranga leaned into them. He analyzed mistakes, learned from missteps, and adjusted his approach with greater clarity. In doing so, failure became a guide rather than a setback. There is also emotional strength built through failure. Repeated disappointment can either break confidence or build resilience. Joe Ranga chose resilience. Every time he failed and stood back up, he strengthened his mental endurance. Fear of failure gradually lost its power because experience replaced doubt. Failure also reshapes perspective. It teaches patience, humility, and persistence. Success achieved without struggle can create arrogance, but lessons learned through failure create wisdom. Joe Ranga understood that each fall carried knowledge that would prevent future mistakes and prepare him for larger challenges. By accepting failure as part of the process, he removed its ability to intimidate him. Failure no longer signaled the end, it marked refinement. Through reflection and persistence, Joe Ranga transformed failure into one of his greatest sources of strength and growth. Motivation is powerful, but it is temporary. It rises with excitement and fades with difficulty. Discipline, however, remains steady regardless of mood or circumstance. Joe Ranga understood that relying on motivation alone creates inconsistency, while discipline builds reliability and strength over time. There are days when energy is low, confidence feels distant, and progress seems slow. Motivation often disappears in these moments, but discipline steps in and carries the work forward. Joe Ranga did not wait to feel inspired before taking action. He committed to routines, habits, and standards that demanded effort even when desire was absent. Discipline creates structure, and structure creates freedom. By maintaining consistency in effort, Joe Ranga removed the need to constantly decide whether to act. His actions became automatic, rooted in commitment rather than emotion. This allowed progress to continue without interruption, regardless of external conditions. Discipline also builds self-respect. Each time a commitment is honored despite difficulty, confidence grows. Joe Ranga's strength was reinforced through repeated acts of discipline. choosing effort over comfort, focus over distraction, and responsibility over excuses. While motivation can spark the beginning of a journey, discipline sustains it. Joe Ranga's path demonstrates that true strength is not driven by fleeting feelings, but by the quiet determination to do what must be done, day after day without negotiation. In a world that celebrates quick results and instant success, slow progress is often misunderstood. Joe Ranga recognized that speed is not the true measure of achievement, direction is. Moving forward, even at a slow pace, builds strength, clarity, and resilience that rushing can never provide. Fast movement without stability often leads to burnout or collapse. Joe Ranga chose patience over pressure, understanding that sustainable growth requires time. Each deliberate step allowed learning, correction, and strengthening along the way. By progressing steadily, he ensured that every gain was earned and every lesson was absorbed. Slow progress also builds mental endurance. When results are not immediate, persistence is tested. Joe Ranga remained committed during periods when improvement was subtle and recognition was absent. This patience strengthened focus and reduced anxiety, allowing progress to continue without unnecessary stress. Comparisons often push people to rush. Joe Ranga resisted this trap by focusing on his own journey. He measured success by consistency and improvement rather than by how quickly others seemed to advance. This mindset protected his confidence and kept his efforts aligned with long-term goals. Progress, no matter how small, breaks stagnation. Each step forward reinforces belief and builds momentum. Joe Ranga's journey shows that slow advancement, when guided by purpose and persistence, creates a foundation strong enough to support lasting success. Destiny is not shaped by one defining moment, but by countless decisions made consistently over time. Every step taken, no matter how small or unnoticed, contributes to the direction of life. Joe Ranga understood that daily actions, repeated choices, and persistent effort quietly design the future long before results become visible. Each step carries intention. Choosing discipline over comfort, effort over excuses, and growth over fear gradually transforms potential into reality. Joe Ranga treated every step as meaningful, knowing that even the smallest action could influence long-term outcomes. What seems insignificant today often becomes foundational tomorrow. Daily decisions accumulate power. Skipped efforts weaken momentum, while consistent action strengthens direction. Joe Ranga remained aware that destiny is not accidental. It is constructed through habits, attitudes, and responses to challenges. By maintaining alignment between intention and action, he ensured steady progress toward his vision. Every step also reinforces identity. Repeated actions define character. Joe Ranga's strength was built through continuous movement, choosing to show up, to learn, and to persist. Over time, these choices shaped not only his results but also his mindset and values. The path forward is written through action. Each step taken with purpose influences the opportunities that follow. Joe Ranga's journey reflects the truth that destiny is not found at the end of the road. It is formed with every step along the way. Self-belief is the inner force that keeps movement alive when external support is absent. It is the quiet confidence that whispers possibility even when evidence is limited. Joe Ranga's journey was powered by an unshaken belief in his ability to grow, adapt, and overcome, regardless of circumstances. Doubt appears in many forms: criticism, comparison, failure, and delay. Without self-belief, these forces can paralyze progress. Joe Ranga understood that belief does not require perfection. It requires trust in effort and commitment to learning. Even when outcomes were uncertain, belief kept him moving. Self-belief strengthens decision-making. When confidence comes from within, choices are guided by purpose rather than fear. Joe Ranga relied on internal conviction instead of waiting for validation. This allowed him to take risks, accept responsibility, and remain focused even when results were slow. Belief also shapes resilience. When setbacks occur, those who believe in themselves recover faster. Joe Ranga did not allow temporary failure to redefine his worth or direction. Instead, belief transformed setbacks into motivation, reinforcing persistence rather than retreat. Every step forward is an act of belief. Joe Ranga's strength grew as belief deepened, proving that when the mind is aligned with purpose, movement becomes unstoppable and progress remains consistent. Strength is powerful, but without direction, it can be wasted. Vision acts as a compass, giving purpose to every step taken. Joe Ranga understood that true strength is most effective when aligned with a clear and compelling vision. Each decision, effort, and challenge faced was driven by a larger purpose beyond immediate gains. A strong vision provides clarity during uncertainty. In moments when progress seems invisible, obstacles appear overwhelming or motivation fades, vision keeps the focus intact. Joe Ranga's vision allowed him to measure effort against long-term goals rather than short-term results. This perspective prevented distractions, impatience, and self-doubt from derailing his journey. Vision also inspires consistency. When each step is tied to a meaningful outcome, even the smallest actions feel significant. Joe Ranga treated everyday tasks not as chores, but as building blocks toward a larger aspiration. This mindset transformed routine work into deliberate, purposeful action. Furthermore, vision fosters resilience. Challenges can shake confidence, but a clear purpose provides strength to persevere. Joe Ranga's vision reminded him why persistence mattered, making every struggle feel like part of a meaningful path rather than random hardship. Finally, vision amplifies impact. Steps taken with intention create outcomes that extend beyond personal growth. Joe Ranga's journey demonstrates that when strength is paired with vision, every action contributes to shaping a legacy, turning effort, struggle, and learning into results that matter far beyond the individual. Strength is not just about persistence, it is also about flexibility. Joe Ranga understood that rigidity in the face of change can stall progress, while adaptability transforms obstacles into opportunities for growth. Life does not follow a straight line, and the ability to adjust strategies, approaches, and mindset is essential for continual forward movement. Adaptability requires awareness. Joe Ranga paid attention to circumstances without being controlled by them. He observed challenges, analyzed outcomes, and adjusted his actions accordingly. This meant that setbacks were not dead ends, they were signals to pivot, rethink, and innovate. Every obstacle became a chance to discover new methods, refine skills, and deepen understanding. Adaptability also fosters resilience. When unexpected challenges arise, those who cling to rigid plans often break under pressure. Joe Ranga demonstrated that strength grows when one is willing to bend without breaking, to change course without losing direction, and to embrace uncertainty as a learning experience. Moreover, adaptability encourages growth beyond comfort zones. By adjusting to new situations, Joe Ranga continuously expanded his skills, perspective, and capabilities. Each change, no matter how challenging, became an opportunity to evolve, proving that flexibility is a core element of lasting strength. Finally, adaptability ensures momentum is maintained. Obstacles are inevitable, but progress doesn't have to stop. Joe Ranga's ability to adapt meant that every challenge, whether small or large, became a stepping stone instead of a roadblock. By embracing change with intelligence and courage, he turned uncertainty into advantage, showing that true strength is not just enduring difficulties but thriving in the midst of them. Patience is often underestimated in the pursuit of strength, yet it is one of the most powerful forces for achieving meaningful results. Joe Ranga understood that lasting success is rarely instantaneous. Every significant accomplishment, every moment of mastery, and every milestone was the result of sustained effort over time. Patience allowed him to stay the course even when progress seemed slow or invisible. Patience requires trust in the process. Joe Ranga recognized that life's most important goals are not achieved through shortcuts or impulsive decisions. By committing to gradual improvement, he ensured that each step was purposeful, laying a foundation that could support lasting growth. He understood that small, steady gains compound over time to create outcomes far greater than any single burst of effort. Patience also cultivates resilience. When obstacles appear or results are delayed, impatience often leads to frustration, stress, or giving up entirely. Joe Ranga embraced delays as part of the journey, knowing that temporary setbacks were not failures but opportunities to build endurance, skill, and wisdom. Each moment of waiting was a test of resolve, reinforcing his capacity to endure and persevere. Moreover, patience sharpens judgment. Rushing decisions often leads to mistakes, wasted effort, or missed opportunities. Joe Ranga exercised discernment by balancing urgency with thoughtful action. By patiently assessing situations, he could make informed choices that propelled him closer to his goals while avoiding unnecessary setbacks. Patience also inspires others. Witnessing calm determination in the face of challenge motivates those around us to persevere. Joe Ranga's patience was contagious. It showed that strength is not just about speed or visible victories but about the quiet, consistent commitment to moving forward. Through patience, small victories accumulate into monumental achievements. Joe Ranga's journey demonstrates that enduring strength is inseparable from the ability to wait, to persist, and to trust that every effort, no matter how gradual, contributes to long-term success. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the ability to act in spite of it. Joe Ranga's journey demonstrates that fear is a natural part of any meaningful endeavor, but strength emerges when fear is faced rather than avoided. Every step he took required confronting uncertainty, risking failure, and challenging the limits of his comfort zone. It was courage that allowed him to transform fear into action, turning potential paralysis into progress. Courage begins with awareness. Joe Ranga acknowledged fear without letting it dominate his choices. He understood that fear signals growth, moments where stepping forward is necessary to achieve something greater. By embracing fear, he was able to channel its energy into determination rather than letting it create hesitation or self-doubt. Courage also builds confidence over time. Each time Joe Ranga acted despite fear, he strengthened his belief in his ability to navigate uncertainty. The more he faced challenges head-on, the less intimidating new obstacles became. Courage is cumulative. It grows with repeated action, reinforcing resilience and reinforcing the mindset that no challenge is insurmountable. Moreover, courage fosters innovation and boldness. By refusing to let fear dictate his actions, Joe Ranga explored new opportunities, tested unconventional ideas, and embraced risks that others might avoid. These courageous steps, taken consistently, allowed him to expand his capabilities and achieve outcomes that would have been impossible without bold action. Courage also inspires others to act. When people witness someone confronting fear with determination, it motivates them to confront their own challenges. Joe Ranga's courage became a beacon, demonstrating that true strength is not about avoiding fear but about moving forward with purpose, even when the path is uncertain. Ultimately, courage turns hesitation into momentum. Every step taken with bravery, small or large, shapes the trajectory of one's life. Joe Ranga's journey proves that fear is not a barrier but a signal. The presence of fear means the opportunity for growth is near, and courage is the bridge that transforms it into progress. Gratitude is often overlooked in the pursuit of success, yet it is a hidden source of strength that fuels resilience and purpose. Joe Ranga understood that acknowledging progress, lessons, and support along the way cultivates a mindset that sustains effort and amplifies growth. Strength is not just built through struggle, it is reinforced by the recognition of what is already present, no matter how small. Gratitude shifts focus from scarcity to abundance. Joe Ranga practiced recognizing the resources, skills, and opportunities he already possessed. This perspective allowed him to approach challenges with confidence and optimism rather than frustration or envy. By appreciating the progress he had already made, he generated the energy and determination to continue forward. Gratitude also enhances mental endurance. Life's obstacles can feel heavier when we focus solely on what is lacking or difficult. Joe Ranga used gratitude to maintain perspective, reminding himself of every small victory, lesson learned, and step forward achieved. This mindset turns setbacks into opportunities to grow rather than reasons to despair. Moreover, gratitude strengthens relationships and support systems. Recognizing the contributions of mentors, peers, and allies not only fosters deeper connections but also provides encouragement and collaboration along the journey. Joe Ranga valued those who supported him, understanding that strength is amplified when shared, and that appreciation creates positive momentum. Gratitude also encourages self-reflection and humility. By regularly acknowledging the efforts of both himself and others, Joe Ranga maintained clarity about his values, purpose, and progress. This awareness reinforced his resilience and prevented arrogance, keeping him grounded even amidst success. Ultimately, gratitude transforms effort into empowerment. It reminds us that every step taken is part of a larger story of growth and achievement. Joe Ranga's practice of gratitude shows that strength is not only about overcoming challenges but also about appreciating the journey, which fuels persistence, focus, and fulfillment. Focus is the bridge between effort and achievement. Strength alone is not enough. Without clear focus, energy is scattered and progress becomes slow or misdirected. Joe Ranga understood that every step, no matter how small, achieves far more when it is guided by attention and clarity. Focus transforms intention into tangible results, ensuring that hard work produces meaningful outcomes. Focus begins with clarity of purpose. Joe Ranga knew what he wanted to achieve and why it mattered. This vision allowed him to prioritize actions, filter distractions, and dedicate energy to what truly advanced his journey. Without this clarity, even consistent effort risks being wasted on unproductive paths. Focus also enhances persistence. In the face of challenges, it is easy to become distracted by frustration, external opinions, or competing goals. Joe Ranga maintained concentration on the path ahead, using focus as a shield against the noise that could derail progress. This single-minded attention strengthened his capacity to endure setbacks and continue moving forward. Moreover, focus amplifies skill development. By concentrating deeply on each task, Joe Ranga refined his abilities faster and more effectively than by attempting too many things at once. Focus allowed him to learn lessons fully, master challenges thoroughly, and build competence that compounded over time. Focus also cultivates confidence. When effort is aligned with attention and purpose, results naturally follow. Joe Ranga's careful, focused approach created a sense of control over his journey, reducing doubt and increasing the certainty that each step contributed to long-term success. Finally, focus creates momentum. Each action taken with intent fuels the next, creating a chain of progress that grows stronger with repetition. Joe Ranga's strength was multiplied not just by effort, but by the ability to concentrate that effort on what mattered most. Focus ensured that every step was meaningful, every challenge was met strategically, and every victory, small or large, moved him closer to his ultimate goals. Persistence is the engine that drives strength through challenges. Joe Ranga's journey teaches that obstacles are inevitable, but continuing to move forward regardless of difficulty is what separates temporary effort from lasting achievement. Persistence is not about speed or perfection. It is about refusing to stop, even when progress seems invisible or the path feels impossible. Persistence begins with commitment. Joe Ranga committed to his goals not only in moments of inspiration but also in moments of struggle. He understood that every significant achievement requires repeated effort, often over extended periods. Each step, taken without hesitation, reinforced his resilience and strengthened his resolve to overcome whatever obstacles appeared. Persistence also cultivates problem-solving. Challenges inevitably arise, and persistent individuals do not surrender when faced with difficulty. Instead, Joe Ranga approached each obstacle as a puzzle to solve, analyzing, adapting, and trying again. The repeated effort allowed him to refine strategies, uncover new solutions, and turn setbacks into stepping stones. Moreover, persistence builds confidence. Each time Joe Ranga continued despite resistance or failure, he proved to himself that he was capable of enduring more than he initially believed. This self-reinforcement created a cycle of strength. The more he persisted, the stronger he became, and the more capable he felt to face future challenges. Persistence also inspires others. When people witness someone refusing to quit, it ignites courage and determination in those around them. Joe Ranga's unwavering effort became a model, showing that endurance and consistent action often lead to breakthroughs that cannot be achieved through talent or luck alone. Finally, persistence ensures momentum. Even small actions, repeated consistently, build forward movement that grows over time. Joe Ranga demonstrated that true strength is not about avoiding obstacles but about moving through them with unwavering determination. Every persistent step not only overcomes the present challenge but also lays the foundation for future success, proving that endurance is one of the most powerful forms of strength. True strength is not static. It grows through learning and adaptation. Joe Ranga understood that every experience, success, or setback carries a lesson that can be transformed into wisdom. Learning continuously is what allows each step to be more effective than the last, turning effort into lasting progress. Learning begins with curiosity and openness. Joe Ranga approached challenges with a mindset that sought understanding rather than avoidance. He observed outcomes carefully, asked questions, and reflected on actions, ensuring that every mistake, victory, or unexpected turn became an opportunity to grow. This mindset allowed him to convert obstacles into knowledge and experience into power. Learning also fuels adaptability. The world is constantly changing and challenges often require new strategies. Joe Ranga used lessons from the past to navigate the present more effectively, refining his approach to achieve better results. Each lesson learned created a stronger foundation for the steps that followed. Moreover, learning builds resilience. When failure or disappointment occurs, those who learn from it are able to recover faster and move forward with improved strategy and insight. Joe Ranga's commitment to learning meant that no setback was wasted. Each provided clarity, strengthened skills, and reinforced his capacity to persevere. Learning also inspires confidence. Knowledge gained through experience provides the certainty that future obstacles can be handled with skill. Joe Ranga's strength was amplified by the lessons he accumulated, giving him the ability to make informed decisions and face challenges with assurance. Finally, learning multiplies impact. Each new insight enhances the effectiveness of every subsequent step, creating a compounding effect over time. Joe Ranga's journey demonstrates that strength is not simply about endurance or effort. It is about actively seeking growth, transforming knowledge into action, and ensuring that every step forward is more powerful than the one before. Strength is amplified when paired with vision. Joe Ranga understood that determination and effort alone are not enough. Knowing where you are headed transforms each step into purposeful movement. Visionary thinking allows an individual to anticipate challenges, identify opportunities, and align daily actions with long-term goals, ensuring that effort compounds meaningfully over time. Vision begins with clarity of purpose. Joe Ranga took the time to define not only what he wanted to achieve, but also why it mattered. This clarity acted as a compass, guiding decisions and helping him prioritize actions that would lead to meaningful results. Without this foresight, effort risks being scattered, energy wasted, and progress slowed. Visionary thinking also strengthens resilience. When faced with uncertainty, setbacks, or criticism, Joe Ranga's vision reminded him of the bigger picture. It allowed him to endure temporary discomfort, knowing that each step, no matter how challenging, was contributing to a larger, purposeful journey. Vision transformed obstacles into milestones rather than deterrents. Moreover, vision encourages innovation and creativity. By imagining possibilities beyond current limitations, Joe Ranga was able to explore new strategies, challenge conventional thinking, and find solutions where others saw only barriers. Vision empowered him to navigate complexity with confidence, turning uncertainty into opportunity. Vision also aligns and inspires others. When people witness a clear, compelling vision, they are more willing to support and collaborate. Joe Ranga's ability to articulate and embody his vision created momentum, fostering a sense of direction that amplified the impact of every step he took. Finally, vision ensures sustainability. Short-term effort without a guiding direction often leads to exhaustion and wasted energy. Joe Ranga's forward-thinking approach ensured that each step contributed to long-term goals, creating a trajectory where small, consistent actions multiplied into significant achievements. His journey demonstrates that strength becomes transformative when guided by a clear and inspiring vision, making each step purposeful, intentional, and impactful. As we reflect on Joe Ranga's journey, one truth becomes clear. Strength is not born in a single moment, nor is it measured only by visible victories. It is cultivated step by step, through courage, discipline, patience, learning, and unwavering commitment. Every challenge faced, every lesson learned, and every small decision to move forward contributes to the power we carry within ourselves. Joe Ranga's story reminds us that each of us has the same opportunity. Every step we take, no matter how uncertain or small, builds momentum, shapes our character, and moves us closer to our goals. Strength is not reserved for the fearless. It is developed by those who choose to rise again and again in the face of obstacles. So take the first step. Stay consistent, embrace challenges, act with courage, and never underestimate the power of patience and persistence. Your journey, like Joe Ranga's, is made one step at a time, and each step carries the potential to shape not only your destiny but also the world around you.